The hotel room felt wrong. It smelled of old, damp walls and the sharp, sterile scent of bleach. The air conditioner was a constant buzzing drone in my ear, like a giant mosquito that wouldn't die. I was at the desk, my fingers drumming in anxious rhythm against the cheap wood. In front of me, a scattered collection of photographs taken under the harsh glare of a camera flash. They were snapshots of a murder scene, a story I, as a journalist, was trying to piece together. Then, a sound cut through the oppressive silence. Singing. It was a child's voice, clear and pure, humming a melody without words from somewhere down the hall. It should have been cheerful, but in this decaying place, it was haunting. My heart began to hammer against my ribs. I got up, my chair groaning in protest, and pulled the door open just a crack. The hallway stretched out, long and empty. The dim lights flickered violently, then died, plunging everything into absolute darkness. The singing stopped. But far down the corridor, a small shadow flickered in the blackness. There one moment, gone the next, like a single skipped frame in an old film. A strange scent drifted towards me, something sweet and unsettling. Cotton candy and baby powder. The smell of a childhood long since past. I slammed the door, my back pressed hard against it, my breath coming in ragged gasps. It had to be a hallucination. The stress of the case was finally getting to me. I forced myself back to the desk, trying to refocus on the crime scene photos, and that's when I saw it. A detail that had been staring me in the face the whole time. Reflected in a dusty mirror in one of the photos was a chalk drawing, a crude, childish sketch of a baby bird. I frantically flipped through the police report. There was no mention of it, not a single note. It was as if it never existed. Or maybe I was the only one who could see it. Cold dread crept up my spine. I opened my laptop, my fingers flying across the keyboard, digging through online archives, searching for any information on this building. Decades ago, before it was a hotel, it had been an orphanage, left abandoned for years. Then a name flashed onto the screen, a name that made my blood run cold, Sunlight Orphanage. The name wasn't just a name, it was a key, unlocking a door deep in my mind I thought was sealed forever. I had lived there. When I was 5, fragments of memory, sharp and painful, began to surface. A rusty swing set creaking in the wind. The sound of children's laughter echoing in a barren yard. And a girl. A girl with long dark hair who always wore a red ribbon. We used to play hide and seek in these endless dim corridors. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't remember her face. All I could recall was a feeling, warmth, followed by a profound, hollow sadness. That night, I dreamed. The dream was so vivid, so real, it felt like a memory being replayed. I was a little boy again, my small feet pounding on the cold floor as I ran through the dark hallways of the orphanage. It was a game of hide and seek with the girl in the red ribbon. I found an old, towering wardrobe and squeezed inside, peering through a crack in the door. I saw her, and then I saw an adult figure grab her, dragging her away as she struggled silently. There was a sickening thud, and then nothing. Just silence. I woke up drenched in sweat, my heart trying to beat its way out of my chest. It was just a nightmare. Right, the next day, I knew what I had to do. I had to go deeper. I found my way to the basement, the one part of the old orphanage that had never been renovated into the hotel. The wooden door was warped and rotting, secured by a heavy, rusted padlock. I found a metal rod and pried it open, the shriek of tortured metal echoing through the silence. A wave of damp, musty air hit me, filling my lungs with the taste of dust and decay. I switched on my phone's flashlight, its beam cutting through the oppressive darkness. Rows of rusty cots emerged from the gloom, draped in thick cobwebs like funeral shrouds. The walls were covered in faded children's drawings. And there, in the corner, illuminated by the shaky beam of my light, was a chalk drawing, a small bird. The same one from the photograph. My hand trembled as I reached out and touched the dusty drawing on the wall. And just like that, the dam broke. The memories came flooding back, not in fragments, but in a torrent. The girl's name was Ha. We would draw birds together for hours. She always said that one day we'd be like them. We'd fly far, far away from this place. Then came the memory of that night. The night of the storm. We were hiding down here in the basement. We heard footsteps on the stairs. A woman, one of the caretakers, with a face twisted by cruelty, found us. She grabbed Ha, dragging her from our hiding spot. I was frozen, paralyzed by fear in the shadows. I heard her small cries, sharp, ugly sound, and then silence. I didn't move. I didn't make a sound. I did nothing. The next day, they told everyone that Ha had run away. But I knew the truth, and now I remembered it all. I had buried the memory, buried my guilt deep inside, convincing myself that she really had escaped. I grew up, became a journalist, obsessed with finding the truth in other people's stories. A desperate, lifelong attempt to atone for the one truth I had abandoned. The murder case I was investigating. The victim was an old woman, and as I stared at her photo on my phone, her face finally clicked into place. It was her, the caretaker. A sob tore its way out of my throat, and I collapsed onto the cold concrete floor. I wasn't crying out of fear. I was crying because justice had finally come, but it was too late. The killer had been punished by some unknown hand. But I, the silent witness, was still here, haunted by a guilt that would now never, ever fade. And then I heard it again. From the deepest shadows of the basement, the child's singing returned. It wasn't cheerful anymore. It was a mournful, heartbreaking lament. I slowly lifted my head. A small figure materialized from the darkness. Long black hair, a red ribbon. Her pale face turned towards me, her eyes two black, hollow voids. "You finally remember," she whispered, her voice a cold echo in the vast, empty room. "You left me." Tears streamed down my face, blurring my vision. "I'm sorry." "Huh, I am so sorry." Her voice was suddenly right beside my ear, a chilling breath against my skin. "Not sorry enough. You have to live with it, just like I had to die with it." Her figure dissolved back into the shadows. The singing faded away, leaving only the lonely sound of the wind whistling through the cracks in the walls, a final, mournful cry for the dead. I sat there, alone in the cold and the dark, my head in my hands. The truth hadn't set me free. It had built me a new prison. I had finally uncovered the whole story. And in doing so, I had uncovered the monster inside myself. And now, I am doomed to carry the whispers of the past and the accusing eyes of a little girl who will never find peace. Thank you for listening to my story. If you enjoy this kind of dark narrative, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more. Stay safe.